Hello guys and welcome to the UtdDistrict YouTube channel. Today we're going to be focusing on the latest news on Manchester United striker target Rasmus Hojlund. Now this is a transfer that was looking more likely after it came out that Cain was unlikely to move to another Premier League club. But the latest developments have put a bit of a spanner in the works. I mean, there's been some news on his price and whether United are willing to match that, and it's a lot different to what we've heard previously, so whether it's a case of United tax as we've seen previously in other windows or not, we'll have to wait and see, but this is what we've heard so far from the media. So the Atalanta striker's price originally over the last few weeks has been set at around 40 to 60 million pounds as per multiple different reports, but the latest developments have shown that that has shot up. It was David Kent of the Mail who originally reported a few days ago that Atalanta had held a meeting to do with the future of the striker, and they decided that both because of the striker market at the moment and the demand around Hojlund, that they would demand around £85 million. It was said that they believe that that is reflective of the current market, and then Laurie Whitwell followed up with a similar report saying the same information on the price tag, but adding that further discussions are expected, but at that price, £85 million, United were not willing to pay it. Those are the two reports so far which have come out with this price tag, going against all previous reports. But there is a report from Tutto Atalanta in recent days which kind of goes against that information. They did say that there's been a bid placed. It was said that this was likely by Manchester United. It didn't say anything definitively, but it was said that the bid was around about £30 million and that was rejected. And what the club apparently communicated was that they would want a 40 million base fee, which would rise to around about 60 to 70 million pounds. So that is a slightly lower fee, and also it didn't mention in the prior reports what amount of that 85 million would be bonuses. But nevertheless, 70 to 80, around about that ballpark, is probably too much for the player, and we'll go on to explain why. He was supposed to be the cheaper alternative to Kane, who seems unlikely to move away from Spurs, at least to a Premier League side this summer. And that fee isn't actually probably that far away from what United would have had to pay for Kane if he does leave this summer. And then when you take into consideration the latest reports on David De Gea, where he might be leaving the club this summer, United aren't as sure as they were previously that the deal will be struck. So they could be looking for a first choice goalkeeper, which will of course cost more than if they were going to get a understudy to David De Gea. And that means that a deal for Hojlund at that price just doesn't really make much sense for United. If they were going to pay that much for a striker, there are probably better options on the market. I mean, he's relatively unproven, and you've got an age mate in Gonzalo Ramos who's further along in his development and would probably suit United better from the off, and also has bags of potential, which is what United were probably looking at Hojlund for. But if they're paying in excess of 60 to 70 million, then you'd be expecting the full package almost straight away. And then you also have Victor Osimhen, who's of course one of the best strikers in the world right now. And also, whilst he'd cost a little bit more, I don't think the distance in price between what the reports are saying for Hojlund and what he would eventually cost would be large enough to justify not going for the Napoli striker. I think United fans were keen to get this deal for Hojlund over the line for a few different reasons. Of course, he's previously explained how he is a Manchester United fan, and recent comments made it seem like he did want to make the move. And then when you add on the fact that he's 20 years old, looks like a very good profile for a striker, and the idea that he'd only cost around 40 to 50 million, it seemed like a good deal for United. But if the recent reports are true, I do think it's a good idea for United to steer clear of that potential transfer. But perhaps I'm wrong. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this entire transfer saga, and whether you think we should go for Hojlund or whether we should look elsewhere, and who we should look at if we don't go for him, because it looks like Kane isn't really a possibility. We might go back for him, but it looks like we might need to be shopping elsewhere for a centre forward this summer. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications bell on so you can see when we next upload. And if you want to keep up to date on 24/7 transfer news, quotes from players, etc., be sure to follow our social media channels. They will be in the description below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.